Alright, so check-in video. So there's a little mishap with my camera for the day of check-in. I thought I put it in my backpack, but I put it in my carry-on luggage, which was hard to get to or whatever, so I thought I lost my camera. I thought that I left it at home all the way back in Nevada, and I didn't find it until after check-in had already occurred. So here I'm going to go through check-in casting and just kind of a spiel. I hope it's informative and whatnot for those of you who are getting ready to go to the program or are hoping to get accepted or whatever, because I was watching these vlogs for a long time. So yeah, so check-in for me was 2 days ago on Monday, and I was given a couple of days before I came. I was sent an email with a specific check-in time. Not everyone gets them, but I did. They said to come between 8 and 9. So I was here at, or we wanted to be here at like 7:30, but we ended up getting here like 5 minutes to 8. So we went to Vista Way, which is where the check-in is, and there's signs, and it's really easy to find the place where you're supposed to be, and they tell you where to park. There's this big welcome building, and it has the purple Disney internships and programs or whatever logo everywhere, and purple flags and purple signs, and there's a line, and you've seen it in all the other vlogs, so it gets all exciting. Like, I freaked out a bit. So you go there and you wait in line. We were there relatively early, so it wasn't that long of a line. It took us about 5 minutes to get our name tags and our program guides, and then we had to wait another 10-15 minutes or so to get in and get told our work location. Mine is Magic Kingdom. Yay, it's my favorite park. Hoping to know all about it. I have the intro to Magic Kingdom type training on Tuesday, which is like once upon a something. Yeah, super accurate naming. So yeah, then I have then you wait a little bit longer and they tell you where you're living. I got Chatham, 1 bedroom, 2 person with my roommate Emma that I had already linked with and been talking to previously. And then you wait in line a little bit longer, and they take your picture for your housing ID, which is, I showed it in another video, but I'm not sure what order they're all going to go up, so I'll show you guys again. It's right here. It's got a big CS on it for Chatham Square. And yeah, they take your picture, and then they send you into another line to go get your key for your apartment, which they tape to the back of your program guide, and everyone tells you to put it in your pocket or put it on your keychain. Don't leave it on the back of your book, because apparently lots of people lose theirs. I didn't. I left it on my book for quite a while because I didn't have my keychain with me, but then someone was like, you should take that off, so I put it in my pocket. Now it's on my keychain. And then once you finish getting your key, they should have your ID card ready, and they just kind of pass that to you along with your itinerary for the next week. Oh, let me grab it. Ooh. Okay. It looks like this. You get, it has your name on it. It's custom to you. It tells you what your pendor number is, which is also on your ID card on the back right here, which is like your personal identification number for Disney, all things Disney, I guess. And I guess your primary ID, I don't know what that is yet. Your arrival date, which is obviously the date that you got this, and then the date that you have traditions, and your role. And then it tells you what time you have casting, which they give you a sticker for that, which happens, I think, I want to say it happens, I can't remember when the sticker happens, but they do give you a sticker, and it tells you when you have casting. I had mine at 9:30 that day, so it was almost immediately after I finished the check-in process. And they tell you what to bring to casting, which you have to bring your program guide and your itinerary, which is, the program guide is in the other room. It's like a notebook they give you. It's spiral bound, and it has all sorts of information in it. And then your itinerary, which is this sheet of paper. Your I-9 form, which they give you later in check-in. Your documents for I-9, which like is your IDs. You have to have 2 IDs. Yeah. So I had a driver's license and social security card. I think you can use driver's license and passport, or driver's license and birth certificate, but at least one of those IDs has to have a photo on it of you. And then drug and alcohol testing, it tells you when that is. I didn't need to get tested for drug and alcohol. There's only certain roles that need to be tested for that. Vacation planner is not one of them. I believe they are transportation, lifeguard, and attractions, because those are the ones where you're like holding the lives of people in your hands, so it's necessary. And mandatory housing welcome session, which is I went to yesterday. Obviously tells you when that is. So mine was on Tuesday at 1. My roommate's was on Tuesday at 4. And it tells you what to bring. It's in the clubroom at Commons, or at least ours was. I'm pretty sure that that's where they have it all the time though, because they've got like a permanent fixture in there with like Disney college internships and programs, or whatever it is, the big key, the symbol. And then language testing, which I have today in just a little while. Should be leaving here in about 20 minutes. Tells you where that is and where that should be. Oh crap, it's in Vista. I'll probably leave earlier. Yeah, so go to those things, and then you go and have a round table meeting with a Disney representative. Mine was really chipper and awesome, and she talks to you about what you're going to be doing, talks to you about the itinerary, asks you about any tattoos and piercings you have. Yeah, she it seemed really cool and really straightforward. I can't exactly remember the specifics of what she talked to us about. I think she made something about making sure you get to the buses on time and whatnot. You're supposed to be there 15 minutes early just in case, which I am no stranger to bus travel, so this won't be too big of a deal. So yeah, and then they send you over to do your I-9, and they have a table full of pens and forms, and they have you go do the form, and then there's like water, and then you have to go to another thing outside about the educational portion of the Disney College program. They ask you about classes, and they tell you about speaker series, and they talk to you about signing up for your allotted 4-hour time slot if you're taking online courses from home. Not from home, but from your home college. Because you can sign up, I guess, for a 4-hour slot of time every week where they won't schedule you to work, because that is the time that you're allotted to do your class. So you can do that, and then yeah, and then they send you off to another tent that's like right next to it, which is the safety tent. So safety begins with me, safety begins with all of you, no one gets hurt. That's like the slogan for all of the Disney, and you can get stickers and like a little spray hand sanitizer thing with safety begins with me on it, and some basic safety rules that I can't remember because I just had the big housing meeting yesterday, so there's all that. And then they move you on to another tent where there is snacks. There was oranges and granola bars and bananas, I think. And then they give you a Disney College Program internship tote bag, and it has a tiny box of laundry soap and a tiny box of dryer sheets so that you can get started on your laundry sooner, I guess. And then someone was there from the Disney ambassadors, which I guess is they speak on behalf of the CEO and the whole company when they're not able to make it to whatever event or whatever. So she was like so happy to have you, and she was really pretty. But yeah, and then they say, okay, go to whatever it is that you're doing next. So I went over and I asked someone about where casting was, and they pointed at a bench and were like, go sit there and there will be a person in a red shirt that comes and gets you. And I'm like, okay. So I sat there with another guy, and then they got us on a bus, and we sat on the bus for a while waiting for other people to get on the bus. And then more people got on the bus, and these are nice buses. They were like coach buses, so they had the cushy seats, and there was a plug, and there was a little footrest, and there was TVs up there that we didn't use, but they were there. And yeah, it was really nice. And then they had 2 Disney employees come on. I guess they had previously done college programs. I'd seen our particular one on previous vlogs. I can't remember her name, but she was really cool. She talks about being a human traffic cone. I don't know if you guys have seen those vlogs, but yeah. So yeah, and you do that, and you get to do Disney trivia, and they talk to you about casting, and you go through under the arch that says Disney World, and you all freak out because it's really exciting. And I I won some stuff for Disney Trivia because and I kind of freaked her out, because I'm like all about The Nightmare Before Christmas. She was like, okay, I'll ask an easy trivia question. She goes, what was Jack Skellington's? And I raised my hand, and she's like, I didn't even finish the question. I'm like, it's his dog's name, isn't it? It's his dog's name. And she's like, yeah, I don't know how you knew that. I'm a little freaked out, but what's his dog's name? And I'm like, it's Zero. And so I got a luggage tag that says Disney College Program. But yeah, and then they take you to casting, and the doorknobs that I've seen in other vlogs, the Alice in Wonderland doorknobs, they're out for refurbishment. So there was normal doorknobs, and you could see the shadows where the Alice in Wonderland doorknobs had been. But then you go into the room with the cool statues. I might insert some pictures here because I took them and they're pretty. But yeah, and then once you go in there, you stand in line for a little bit, and then some people come and talk to you about how cool casting is and how you're supposed to put your cameras away because there's private information for a lot of casting. And then they herd you off like cattle, not cattle, I mean they're nicer. But you just kind of like, they take a bunch of you and go, okay, you go this way, and then you get a sticker on your notebook that says like Route 1 or Route 2, I guess. I had one that said Route 2, and they sent me into a hallway where I waited for a little while. And then they sent me into another room to do forms, and it was like I guess there was people in there that had to do more forms. I feel like it was the new hire documents if you didn't completely finish them or whatever. So you go in there, and they had the confidentiality agreement. They said, well, you already agreed to this online, you just have to sign it again just so we have a hard copy. So they gave me that and signed it, and then they sent me off to another room to do the background check. So you go into another room, and someone takes you aside to a computer with a fingerprint scanner, and they ask you your gender, your height, your weight on a good day, and your hair color and your eye color and your race and all that. And then they take your fingers, and you have to do a fingerprint on like this, and then you have to do each thumb, and you have to do this for both hands, and then they do each of your fingers individually and roll them on the thing, and then sometimes you have to do it again. But yeah, mine was really quick. My roommates, I guess she had to go back no, not my roommate, someone else that I met, she had issues and they just couldn't do the rolling thing, and so she might end up having to go back and do that again. But yeah, so they do that, and then they send you off to another room to do your I-9, and you wait in a line, and then they go, okay, you want to go down to room number whatever. So they said, go to room 7, and I was walking to room 7. There's big numbers next to the doors so you can find them easily, but someone in room 5 popped out and was like, you're coming in here, and I'm like, okay. They wanted me to go to room 7. They're like, well, too bad, we have you now. So you go in there, and they give you your training schedule. Oh no, training schedule happens before I-9. You go somewhere and get your training schedule, and then they send you to the line for I-9. But they send you into that separate room for each person gets their own private room, and then you give them your 2 forms of identification and your I-9 form, and then they look it over with a fine-tooth comb. There was some stuff that I had crossed out and rewritten elsewhere, like I accidentally I started to write 15 instead of 2015, so I wrote the 1, and then I was like, oh crap, and then I wrote the 2 over the top of it, and then 2015, and then I had to initial and date that because they wanted to make sure that it was me that did that. And then also, like, on the address, I started to write the apartment number of my address at home, and then I realized there's a box right next to it for apartment number, so I scribbled it out and moved it over there, and then she had me initial that as well. And then while she goes and puts that in the computer, I guess, they have another guy there that talks you through your training schedule, and my training schedule is over here. Okay, and they give you your traditions paper too that tells you when traditions is. So my training schedule is, I have on this Friday at 7:30 in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they have military time, so it's easier to tell what time it is. I have Welcome to Operations, which is apparently very, very boring at Disney University. It tells you what to wear, it tells you who to call if you have questions about this, and tells you which bus to take. And then training day 2, I don't have any more training until Tuesday, so training day 2 is on next Tuesday. It's Once Upon a Time Is Now, oh that's what it's called, on Tuesday, and that's from 7:15 in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I have to meet down in the tunnels at the Mouseketeria, which I guess is the employee cafeteria at Magic Kingdom, and then what to wear and all that. And then day 3, it says day 3, but day 3 is 5 days. starting on the 28th, which is next Thursday, and going 5 days, 5 whole glorious days. I have vacation planning core class from 8:30 in the morning until 5 o'clock at night at Disney University, so it's going to be a lot of classes. I guess there's a lot to learn for being a vacation planner. Not exactly looking forward to the training. I'm more looking forward to the on-the-job training, which is going to happen a bit after that. But yeah, and then they give you this traditions paper, which tells you when you have traditions. Mine says that I have it on Thursday, which is the same as my itinerary, and then it tells me what group I'm in. I'm in group 2, which is 1:30 p.m. I have to be at the bus, and the bus, I guess, for Chatham, it meets outside the clubhouse, which is right over there, and then the class starts at 2:30, and it's about 4-ish hours, I've heard, so I think after that I'm going to try to go to Magic Kingdom. But yeah, once you do all those things, you're pretty much done. They send you out and you wait for a bus and it takes you back here, and then you can go move in. My roommate didn't have casting until the next day, but it's usually in the first couple of days that you do that, and then you just kind of get settled. Yeah, I hope this was informative. I know it wasn't as interactive, not interactive, but entertaining as it would be if I had my camera at that point, but I didn't. So yeah, that is all you need to know about check-in and casting, I guess. Okay. I guess since I'm working at Magic Kingdom, I might sign off with, have a magical day, guys.